Welcome to Mastrius, the online global community for motivated creatives providing personal, meaningful, and interactive connections. Pursue your artistic dreams while getting personal feedback from world-class masters and building authentic relationships with artists just like you.
It's a way of connection with creativity being our foundation, but it's as if we're uplifting one another.
Each group follows similar monthly rhythms, but is unique, like each artist in them. Find the perfect one for you.
But I would definitely say just jump in with both feet and just have fun. You just never know. It's just fantastic. I love it.
It's a relationship and getting to know the artist, and yeah, it's mentorship and friendship.
You'll begin each session with your master in warm connection. Your navigator will introduce any new members, and you'll spend a few minutes celebrating the achievements of your fellow members.
There's nothing like it. The support that you get, the inspiration, the motivation, the cheering in the background.
The first half of each session is spent reviewing the homework your master artist assigned at the end of your last session. The second half of each session is teaching curated for you. We get to know you as your navigator uses the info you provided in your new member profile form, the group discussions, and the questions you ask. They ensure your session is specially designed for you and your group. At the end of each session, your master will give you an assignment to work on until you meet again. But it doesn't end there. Between your session, your navigator will support and guide you as you connect with your group, engaging online, in our regular live events, or in your mid-month sessions.
I enjoy getting together at my mid-month meetings with my group and asking questions and sharing our celebrations and also sharing our failures and being able to laugh about it.
We're excited to have you. With Mastrius, rediscover the joy in being a creative.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mastrius. I'm Julie deBoer, artist and founder. Thanks for joining us as we get inside a sneak peek at the creative process of a few feature artists for our upcoming Emotion of Color Mastrius Art Show. Mark your calendars. In just 2 weeks, the art show goes live, showcasing the impressive talents of our Mastrius navigators, alongside the show headliner, Isabel Ostrom. The show runs November 14th to 16th. Don't miss out by joining the mailing list, and when you do, you'll be entered to win Lobo, an original 10 by 10 painting by Isabel. We'll share the link for that in the chat. The lucky winner will be announced at the show closing live on Instagram, so follow us at mastrius.artshow on Instagram so you don't miss out. There's Lobo. Isn't he handsome? Oh, I love him. I hope I win. So what's a navigator, you ask? Our navigators are the glue that keeps our community together. They have two important roles. They support and assist our mentors in every mentorship group, and they build community and connection within each group between the artists. Mastrius would be just another platform without them, which is why we wanted to showcase them in their very own art show, The Emotion of Color. Thanks for coming, everyone. If you are new, we encourage you to say hello in the chat. And if you have questions as we go, please pop them in there as well. You can share your questions to me directly or to everyone. You'll see a little toggle at the bottom of the chat. And I'm so pleased to introduce you to our first navigator, Maya Corona. Maya Corona, originally from Mexico City and now residing in Calgary, Alberta, has rekindled her passion for fine art after working as a graphic designer. Her vibrant and bold work spans various mediums such as watercolor, acrylic, and mixed media, often showcasing flowers, animals, and women. Maya's subjects are positive, reflective, and joyous, aiming to reignite appreciation for the beauty that surrounds us. Through her artwork, especially her portrayals of women, Maya aims to empower and celebrate their strength and resilience. Welcome, Maya.
What? Hi. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Happy to have you. And next up is Karen New-Weidman. Karen is a third-generation artist based in Port Perry, Ontario. She discovered her passion for art early on, influenced by her grandfather's paintings of Hungarian landscapes. Karen found her artistic calling in acrylics, focusing on landscapes that echo the beauty of nature. Using a vibrant palette and expressive brush strokes, she presents a contemporary style that captivates her audience. Welcome, Karen.
Hi.
Hey. And Debbie Halliday is a Montreal, Quebec-based artist. Her impressionist artwork embodies a transformation from shyness to bold expression, reflecting her journey into the limelight. Through her paintings, Debbie reveals her deep connection to nature's rhythms and its vibrant energy, using the Canadian landscape as a rooted inspiration. Her occasional travels abroad also influence her creative spark, enabling her to convey a profound love for life and an appreciation for the organic essence present in our surroundings. Welcome, Debbie.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes, you betcha. And last but not least, our headliner, Isabel Ostrom. Isabel is a Calgary, Alberta-based artist, drawing creative inspiration from animals and the picturesque landscapes of British Columbia and Alberta. Isabel learned to paint later in life and is now known for capturing the larger-than-life personality of animals. She passionately shares joy through her vibrant, colorful style. Actively engaging with her local arts community, Isabel is recognized for her ability to convey the unique essence of both domestic and wild animals through her joyful paintings. Welcome, Isabel.
Hi.
Good to see you all, and thanks for joining me on the stage. Usually you're in the crowd, so this is pretty awesome. And it takes some courage. I'll just put that out there. All right. So when before the event, we were talking about kind of what we're going to tackle today. Our topic is the emotion of color. That's the theme of the show. And it's actually a show I wish I could be in because it's totally my jam. But I'm not in it. I'm not a navigator, so I don't get to be, and that's okay. But I'm so excited to hear your take on what the emotion of color means for you, how you figured it out, and then how you use that to inform your body of work for the show. And I gave you a heads up, that's the direction we're going to go, but we can go anywhere you want. And again, to our guests, please pop your questions in the chat. Your comments too is always great to see. And we're going to start with Maya. First up. All right. So give us an overview of what the emotion of color meant for you when you first heard it. Did you get excited about the theme? What did you think?
I got really excited because that's like you said, my jam too. I love really vibrant color, and it is something that I've always wanted to share with the world. And like you can see behind me, Eleanor the ostrich, that was, I think, my very first painting I did in acrylics. And from there I was like, I love this. I need to just like start exploring what this means. And then it's emotional color. It's what drives me and my whole career. So yeah.
And what what do you have coming up for the show? Will it be an animal theme?
Yes, they're right here. These guys,
they
don't have color yet. So yeah, they it's funny because I've been doing, like, each show I switch it up a little bit between women and animals. And this is the theme. I've been going to the mountains a lot lately, so I have this idea of like meeting with the animals while I go to the mountains, and I saw a few little guys over there, so I wanted to bring them into the paintings.
Oh, they're absolutely adorable. That rabbit is just calling my name. Can you hold him up?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. So you obviously have a foundation of drawing somewhere in your history, am I right?
Yeah, my background is in graphic design. So I yeah, I always say that I'm a self-taught artist, but then I have the background of graphic design where we were like drawing and trying all these different mediums in school. So yeah, I do have some of that background, and I love doing the drawing first, and then when it starts like coming with the color and like the whole, yeah, it's really fun.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to actually dive into that. Tell us a bit about that process.
It is a bit scary sometimes for me, getting into the color. Like I've drawn this a while back, and I'm like thinking, okay, what is it that I want to do? And I'm usually exploring the. I know that they are going to end up being very colorful, like you can see in the back over there. Like they have some neon colors and some like really vibrant colors, but I'm trying to also bring and make them calm. So I, it's very in my instinct comes and takes over, and then I go in a little bit and start using a little bit of the color theory, so they make sense for people.
Yeah, I relate to that because when I started painting, I was all about color and everything was vibrant and I just loved it. That's like all I wanted to do. And then I started getting mentored and they were like, take it down a notch, Julie. And so now I've been spending years trying to learn how to control the vibrancy and how to use it really intentionally, I guess. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, totally. It is. There was one time it's like, you need to hold your horses. I was like, okay. It's like, it's awesome, but there's just like these little tweaks that happen when you're getting mentor, and you're like, okay, that makes total sense because now I can see the whole image coming out almost from the canvas, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and actually the email that went out today that I wrote is actually about color and how to use it to tell your story, and sometimes how limiting its use can really have a big impact.
Yeah,
So
totally.
cool. Okay, so for these three little guys, do you know what color is going to be dominant? Or I know you love pink. I also do too. Do you have a plan for the color?
Um, I'm I wanted to have a little bit of the feeling that we're entering, like we in Calgary we got snow, and they were like, when I thought about it, it was still summer and it's warm out and all that, but it just feels like they need a little bit of that grounding and resting time. So they might have some blues, teals, and some pink somewhere in there.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Love it.
Yeah.
And do you have names for them, or does that come after they're done?
It's usually after, when I do, and it's kind of like we have a conversation. Um and I talk, yeah, it's just like Eleanor, and so this one was right after I finished, and I wanted to share with people that just came up to me the name, and yeah, I don't have a name yet. So,
Okay.
yeah.
That's usually part of the fun. And I find that the name of a painting can actually sell it. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Sometimes some people will really resonate with a name or a title if it's not like a persona, it's a scene. That sometimes it's the name that pushes you over the edge.
That's so true. I've like, usually the animals, they have a like a person, like a name, let's say Eleanor, and that's Gary, this girl, and Ronnie the bunny. And I love trying to kind of like they go together for the animals, but when it's the women paintings, they might change a little bit, and it's more about the feeling of what I'm painting. Up there, that little one up there is resilience, and it's like being with you. But with these guys, I want that part. The collection that I started with this one was like You're So Dreamy, it's just because the eyes are so cute and dreamy that I just wanted to call it, yeah, You're So Dreamy. So we'll see.
Did you say that the ostrich behind you is Eleanor?
Yes.
And that she was one of your first paintings?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. How long ago was that?
2020.
2020. That's when you started.
Yeah.
Wow, you have done fabulous just in 3 years. That's incredible.
Thank you.
So you must have started right around the time the Mastrius launched.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Tell me a bit about that. How did you stumble upon us?
It was through Brittany Doe. She told Heather that maybe she should reach out. And when I talked to Heather and told me about what Masters was about, I just went like, what? The universe is just like dragging me into this art world. Like, it was crazy because yeah, I had no idea. I was just like painting whatever and doing whatever I wanted. And when I started with Masters, it was like, this sounds like a dream work job that I could have. And it is. And like, I love when I got in, I started painting this, but I was very into watercolors back then. And so it slowly started to move into acrylics. So I was dabbling in both. So it's been awesome because I had masters with teaching me watercolor and acrylic, and I do both, and it's just so much fun. And like, I don't just learn about from the masters, but I learn from the people that, like, the participants that, I don't know, maybe they're doing prints and I want to know a little bit more about how I can produce better prints, and like what the difference in G clay and all these words mean. So yeah, it's been really fun. And I yeah, since 2020, I think it was.
Great. I had no idea we caught you right at the start of your art journey. That's fantastic. I figured
Yeah.
you've been at it for a while.
Oh no.
So cool. And we love having you on the Navigators team. Before I switch over to Karen, tell me a little bit about why you love navigating, and who are you working with currently?
Right now, I am working with Lorraine Witry, and she is a watercolor artist, and she is amazing. I've been navigating for her for 15 or 16 months now.
Wow.
So we've been together for a long time. It's the only group that I have. I'm waiting for some other ones. But with Lorraine, it's just been amazing. And we have like people that have come and go and come back, and we grow and we get small, and whoever gets in, it's just they get so much because she really pays attention to what the participants need and what they want for growth, and it is awesome. And then I'm with Sarah Scully, and she's in Australia, so I hope she gets into we can open this group. It's going to be amazing. It's all about stencils and mixed media and all that stuff, so I'm super excited.
Yeah, that's awesome. Mike just shared Lorraine's page if anyone's curious to check her out.
Oh yeah, we're looking for some new people. If you like, we have, I think, three somewhere in there.
A few more. Sweet. Lorraine Watry's a master watercolorist. Yeah, she's fantastic. So cool. Well, thank you, Maya. I really appreciate letting us peek into not just your studio, but your art brain and heart.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing your finished pieces. They're beautiful so far.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Next up in the hot spot is Karen New Weidman. I'm going to pull you up here on the stage. How are you?
Good. Wow, that's hard to follow with Maya. Like, oh my goodness.
And you need to outshine Maya now.
Yeah. And then the others will outshine me. So there we go. That's how it works.
Yes, and then we'll finish with the bang. No, it's awesome. I know we're all, not all of us, but a lot of us are introverts. So coming into your studio is really coming into your very, precious space. And I'm loving the view behind you. So you're in your studio currently?
Yep.
That's awesome.
My studio. It's just kind of
a lot going on. Fantastic.
There's part of it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. So what have you got going for the Emotion of Color show?
Well, I have one piece that's I'm almost done, maybe. I'm not sure. So that is one. And then the other one is more in work of like it's just in a work of progress right there. Okay. And then I have a third that's not even really started. So let's got the sketch. So what I did, I wanted to work from one reference photo this time. And so that's my photo, and I wanted to kind of highlight the path. So it's just in different like views, like zoomed in. And so I start by, I don't even know where my sketchbook is, but I start by doing a small little sketch, and then so I just kind of, I don't know, zoomed in and cropped and see where I wanted to do my sketches out. And then I guess for my if you want to know my full process,
yeah, let's do it.
Then I kind of go from I use a limited palette. So I just have one blue, one yellow, one red, and then I use white, and maybe sometimes I might add black depending, but I rarely do that. And this it's funny because this process was all thanks to my lovely mentor Sharon Lynn Williams. It was amazing. And I'll put another plug in for her later. But it's funny because I actually did this a long time ago when I had started painting, and then I would teach, so I teach kids, and I would teach them to use a limited palette. And it wasn't until recently that it dawned on me to use different blues, like a different blue, different yellow, different red. And so I started thanks to Sharon, I started documenting and making palettes, right? So all these palettes. So this is the one I chose for these three paintings that I'm going to do. So they're all going to have the same colors, same palette. And then, so it wasn't until, recently that it dawned on me. It was the aha moment of like, oh, I can document that into, make my own palettes because it was always stressful, and I love color, and it was always stressful of what colors to use. So then I went backtrack to using a limited palette to doing that. So,
well, yeah, that's brilliant because I never would have thought of that. So which red, blue, and yellow?
Oh, that's a very good question. So it's phthalo blue, cad yellow deep, and primary magenta.
Oh, my favorite. And I was going to ask, because I saw the magenta on your third painting that you've just started. That's the magenta, right?
No.
Oh, it isn't.
Different magenta. So I just kind of, that's just my, my underpainting that I just leave. And then, but yeah, that's a different, it's Golden's primary magenta. That is the one that I'm using as my palette. Yeah.
primary magenta is my favorite, and it's what I do for my underpainting as well.
Yeah.
I love the warmth of it and the kind of energy it brings.
Yeah, I like to have it, you know, showing through at times, but yeah, so there's a little bit showing through, and then I just kind of go with layers and layers of how that's part of my process. Yeah, it's just basically starting with a photo that I've selected from travels where I've been, and then going with the sketch and mining it, and then going with my values, and then choosing my palette. But a lot of times, like in my process though, I actually pray first, and then, you know, I need guidance, because sometimes I feel lost, and I find that scary moment of like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do here? And so I actually, with this theme of emotion of color, I wanted to kind of use like chaos amongst, like, so I find that there's chaos, but I wanted to find peace in amongst the chaos. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to put like in my path to find peace. So it's a path to beyond the trees is a lake and a mountain, so you can kind of see them a little bit in the background. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was going to ask about the reference photo. Where you're in Ontario, so whereabouts is that?
That was actually in Newfoundland.
Oh, Newfoundland.
Yeah, I went to visit Newfoundland in the summer. So
that's awesome.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I've never been.
Oh, I highly recommend it. Although you're amongst mountains, so I mean, it's little, but it was beautiful there. So we were in Grossmore National Park, and then we drove across and to St. John. So it's a big island.
Yeah, no kidding.
I've always wanted to go there.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
You'd need some time to explore that properly.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about, so your subject is this beautiful path through the forest on the way to kind of this peaceful place beyond the trees. Tell me a bit about how you choose color to, I guess, convey that.
Oh, that's like I think it's kind of in the moment of like, I mean, just basically from my palette, and then kind of always going back and referencing, but where, I don't know, I just feel like I'm guided, right? Like, so, and then sometimes I get lost and I get distracted, and then I kind of have to, you know, divert back to the path and try to, find my way. But I listen to music, and it's while I'm working, and so I can't, there's always the paint and chats, and I can't do paint and chats. I have to be in my solitude, right? And then I'm in a zone.
Yeah, that's cool. And so if you're going for a certain feeling in your artwork, does the music you listen to kind of align with that feeling?
Yep. Yes. Yeah.
I love it that you pray before you start. I think that's really significant.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's a part of who I am, and it's you know, I'm because I'm, you know, we're all created by the master creator, and so as we're created, we are created into, you know, God's image, and so we're creators. So that's, you know, what I want to, you know, that is part of my time of spending time with God is what I paint. Yeah,
I love that. And I hold a similar faith, and I think that we have one of the, I don't want to be proud about it, but we have the highest calling, because we get to be creators, just like you were saying. We get to you know, try to fit in his footsteps, or, you know, walk in his shoes, and he gives us that kind of that ability to create something out of nothing, which is amazing. So many people can't do that, and they really are fascinated by artists and our ability to pull something out of thin air, right, out of our imagination or our emotion, and put that down on a canvas or panel or whatever.
Yeah.
And then to make something that can evoke emotion, right? And memories, and oh, it's such a powerful thing. So beautiful.
Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Have you named your paintings?
No, not yet. No, I don't tend to name them until they're done. And that's another thing that I have guidance, and so I pray about and see what the best. Sometimes in a series it comes from a song, and like I had one series, one collection that I had where it's based on one song, which was actually based on scripture, and so then a lot of the titles were from lines of the song. So sometimes they're even based on like hymns, or I don't know. So we'll see where this one comes. It might just be even a word or so.
Very cool. I love that. It has some depth, and then also an interpretation, right? That might be quite unique for each person.
Yeah.
Love that. Anything else you want to share, Karen?
I don't know. Is there anything that you wanted to ask?
Do the other artists have any questions? Feel free to pipe in. All right.
No questions.
Okay. Well, thanks, Karen. I appreciate the peek into your studio and into your process. The paintings look beautiful. I'm excited to see
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I did want to do one plug.
Yes.
So we're starting a new group with Sharon Lynn Williams. So if anyone's interested, she's a fantastic mentor. She's just like, I'd say probably she's like a jack of all trades. Like she has so much wisdom and experience, and is a phenomenal teacher. And she's got a lot to mentor, a lot to offer. She's amazing.
Mike shared her link in the chat if you're curious to check out Sharon. She is fantastic, and she has a lot of experience. And she's really led by the heart too, which I really appreciate about her.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Karen.
Thanks.
All right. We'll take you out of the hot seat. And next up is Debbie, who has been looking forward to this all day.
Thank you.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I can relate with everybody, what everybody said so far. So that kind of will help me get along here.
Yeah, I know, that's awesome. I know it's a little bit nerve-wracking being on stage. But we so appreciate it, because it's rare that we get to see the kind of inner workings and thinking of an artist, right? It's like a treasure trove once we open it up. It's such a privilege. So thanks for doing this with us.
It's funny because I think we're all basically made of the same ilk, kind of like. As an artist, I'm a very I'm solitary, yet it's my way of expressing myself. So now I just have to do it a little more verbally. So I have 2 paintings that I've completed so far, and the third that I'm working on. And you can see, like, behind me, I'm kind of like one of these people that yes, I know we all love color as artists, but I've been compared to like a box of Smarties that explodes once I get going. So when you were saying, and Maya was saying, that you're trying to tone yourself down, I'm always trying to tone myself down. And so I think I succeeded a bit in this little mini series that I've started. I've tried to focus on the sunsets, because I love sunsets. And I don't know if this one here is like pretty muted compared to maybe what I'm usually showing.
Oh yeah, lovely.
Yeah. So that's kind of like what I've been focusing on in this show. But I do like I like to work with palette knives, although this series isn't with palette knives, it's just brushwork. But I'm all over the map, aren't I?
No, it's good. So tell me a little bit about, do you have a theme for these pieces in the show?
Yeah, for these pieces, I focused on sunsets and calm and serenity. So going with the emotion of color, I was looking for the emotion I was trying to convey is serenity and comfort in solitude.
Hmm.
And I think there's just so much going on right now in the world that I think we all need a little bit of, peace. So that's what I'm hoping that my pieces will convey, because basically they're all beach scenes actually, which I say I focused on the sunset, but they just happen to be beach scenes.
Cool. Okay, so tell me a bit about the colors you chose then to convey that serenity.
Yeah. So I also love magenta. So all of my underpaintings are done in magenta. So I have magenta, I have yellow deep because I like the orangey, glow to it. So it's all pinks. There's a bit of blue, ultramarine blue, and I've made my greens with that. So it's basically, those colors. I've tried to contain myself because I'm always trying to contain myself.
I love it.
Yeah. So I think I did succeed in keeping it, like if you look at the other stuff I've done, like I'm a little bit like I've got too much color going on. This year, I think I've succeeded in keeping it down to, the basics. And like the one that I'm working on now, you could probably see it. It's got the most pink up there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how that'll turn out. There's water in there. So like there'll be turquoise and a bit of, probably very dark greens because, anyhow, I'm not sure how it'll turn out because I'm the type of person who looks at a picture and doesn't really paint what's on the picture.
Mm-hmm.
I go with what I'm feeling at the moment. So yeah, I'm not the type of painter that paints photographically. I'm more of a, I change the colors of the trees. I change the colors of everything.
Yeah, I call that more expressive. Would that align with you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so I'm curious about the pink one that is in process. Can you pull it down and give us a closer look and then share a bit about how you do your layering?
Yeah. So this is I don't know if you can see it here. So yeah. So that's I'm doing a lot of glazing in this one here. This is the picture. So it's not much to go by.
Yeah.
But I plan on putting like some greens. My favorite green is actually golden green.
Oh, it's my favorite too.
Yeah. So there's going to probably be a lot of that in the bottom. But I want to put like a few shadows because I find that with sunsets, the thing I like about it is that you can have a lot of light, but also a lot of shadows, which adds interest,
Yeah,
so the water isn't painted in yet. There's just like a hint of it. So I'm planning on putting turquoise. Like I love turquoise. I like, so it's probably going to be a lot of turquoise. I like the sky the way it's now. There might be a few more layers, but very subtle ones. So yeah, I really love orange sunsets.
Yeah, orange is actually one of my favorite colors, and the magenta from the same cloth. Love that.
Yeah.
And so naming your pieces, do you have an idea of what they'll be called?
Yes, I have the name I have two of them named, the ones that are completed. Yep. This one here is from a trip to Nova Scotia in a place called Parsborough, where some of my family is from.
Lovely.
So it's called Whispers of the Bay.
Oh, lovely.
I've been there. It's so beautiful.
Really? Yeah. It is.
It is. I went sea kayaking in the Bay of Fundy there. We stayed there.
Wow.
That's awesome.
It's a really lovely place. And everybody knows everybody over there. And this one here is, I think this is from a trip to Hawaii, actually. So I just called it By the Beach. It's kind of like a, you know, not a very complicated name, but I just thought it suited it, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Sometimes simple is best.
Yeah. So, and the last one, I don't know. It's going to be named once it gets to me, you know? So usually I try to name my paintings with funny things like puns, but in this case it didn't seem appropriate. So yeah.
Cool.
But that's most of my paintings are named by like puns or plays on words or whatever.
Yeah, me too. I do that as well.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, it sounds like for the theme that you chose about serenity and calm and kind of peace in a turbulent time in our history, that that not doing something funny makes sense. So when you heard about the show, were you excited about the theme? What did you think?
I was excited about the theme. I wasn't sure which way I was going to go. I had done a series of roosters, which are actually in an art gallery in Old Montreal. But you know, when you do a series, like I had started out by doing one, and I thought I just wanted to do something else.
Yeah,
which is one of my problems as an artist. I can't seem to. I don't want to do the same thing over and over again.
I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah, so I do love landscapes though. So I think we have a lot that we can do with landscapes, you know, with skies and water and trees and land, you know, so yeah. So that's what got me with this show. I really, you know, I love to do shows. I love to do it. You know, there's part of me that's shy and doesn't like to be in front of a camera, but another part of me, you know, it's like all of us that are here, that's the way I express myself, right?
Yeah, and we have a lot in common because I used to be so shy, so introverted, but my artwork was always big and bold and full of color, and people were like, how did that come out of you? But then I found out, oh, that's actually me. Just I was hiding a bit before, and now I don't get to hide.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I feel that way. I feel like I also feel in a way like I retired a few years ago, and I thought, okay, I'm going to do what I love to do, and I'm going to get over my fears of being in front of people, being in front of crowds and all of that. So like I want to be able to say I have no regrets.
Yeah.
So part of this for me, part of my journey is getting over those fears and doing stuff that I really like. And I'm also in university. I think I may have mentioned this to somebody here. I went back to university. I'm doing my bachelor's degree in fine arts. I'm specializing in painting and drawing. And I was saying to somebody, I can't remember who, that even though I'm in university, it's Mastrius that does the greatest for me. It totally feeds my soul. It's like, I just love this community. I really love having the mentors. That's why I became a navigator, because I love it so much.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, and we love having you, Debbie. I know I was actually reading because you had written that somewhere, and we asked if we could use it for a testimonial because it was so powerful. That you're finding something here that you couldn't find somewhere else. And me too. It's life-giving. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate that so much.
Thank you.
All right. You're out of the hot seat, Debbie. You did amazing. All right. Next up, last but of course not least, is Isabel Ostrom, our headliner. Ta-da!
Hi there.
Nice to see you. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks everybody for hanging in there.
Yeah. Well, the hour goes quick. It's so fun, and it's
But,
neat that you each bring your own uniqueness to the table. It's fantastic.
yeah, so what
All
do you want
right.
to know?
Well, I want to know it all. Let's start with those beautiful faces behind you that are calling out
Yes.
to the showcase. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, tell us a bit. Let's dive into them first, and then we'll get into the heart of it. Who
Sure.
is going to be in the show?
Well, as you can see, Lobo is in the middle. That's the first one that I painted.
Yes.
And then I actually have painted, I think 7, but I 7 in addition to Lobo. But I thought, okay, because I wanted to have a bit of choice. And so I just, I wanted to paint animals because I paint a lot of animals. And I chose pretty much the same color palette for every painting. And there's a couple there that have a couple of different colors in there, but most of them have the same color palette. And I hope they look unified.
They do.
I also struggle to control the color. I love painting in very bright colors, and I think people actually have come to expect that from me in a lot of my artwork. The Raven was originally actually yesterday had a light white background, and I didn't like it. I was like, this does nothing for me, and so I changed it to a yellow background. But I think they're finished now. I think I did work a little bit on the Raven in the top corner today, just because there was something about it that was bugging me. That's the problem with getting them done ahead of time. Then they hang, and I look at them and I'm like, oh no, I think I better tweak this, and then I end up repainting a whole section of it. So
I know that feeling. All right, I'm really curious to see the raven that's beside Lobo. Can we get a closer look at him?
this one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one that actually has got some raw umber in it. So it's got a bit more of a gray background.
Oh yeah.
If you can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more of a moody one. It's more of a moody raven. I just, I actually had painted this, started off with this painting in bright colors, and I just couldn't stand it. And so I toned it down completely. So that's what that's all about.
Oh, it's very nice. And it must be the moodiness that is drawing me to that one because and it's funny, this painting behind me had a lot of color when I started, and everything went into the grayscale again. So it's funny how sometimes we start with an idea and then our heart is like, no.
The yellow eye.
Yeah. Woo, I'm loving that yellow eye.
Because I had to put yellow in there somewhere.
Yeah, well, I love the unity that you have. Well, that everyone in their artwork has, choosing a palette and sticking to it is really exciting. It really unifies the whole body of work.
Yeah, so when I did Lobo, I was like, I got to do something really good. I'm like the headliner, I'm stressed out. And so I spent quite a bit of time on that. And then I thought, oh, now I have to paint a bunch of paintings that are similar to that. And it was okay because a lot of those are colors that I use in my work anyway. So I just, toned them down somewhat, some of them. But, generally I paint with a lot of color. The emotion of color, when I heard about that, I was like, yay. And then I'm like, no, Isabel, like control yourself. So let's not get too crazy with it. But yeah, I like to have joyful colors because a lot of my paintings have a little bit of a, I don't know, whimsical or comical element to them. Not all of them, but some of them do. So I like to add colors which are joyful.
Yeah,
it makes me happy when I'm painting, and generally I know if it's making me happy, then I think it often makes other people happy, and that's why they buy my art.
Yeah. So how did you narrow it down to the color palette that you chose?
Well, actually, I thought let's try to use what I've used in Lobo, and then I know like blue is actually my favorite color, so there's blue in every one of these paintings. I used cobalt blue and ultramarine blue, and I used some Payne's gray, and those are the blues. And to make them purpley, I would add a quinacridone, however you pronounce it, quinacridone red or quinacridone rose, and that would tone it down to be a bit more purplish.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And do they all have names?
They don't have names yet. I mean, I've been thinking about names. I was debating about using Spanish names because lobo means wolf in Spanish, and then I'm like, I don't know, because
I'll help you.
Maya can tell me that cuervo is crow, but I have like one crow and two ravens in this, so like I can't name all of them cuervo. So I don't know. Maya, ayúdame.
We'll do a station, or maybe people can also help you with that.
Okay, we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk.
That's right. Naming.
Or if anybody has suggestions online here for any of these paintings, that would be great too. Just put them in.
How about you bring another one closer and we'll see. How about the raven with the yellow background?
This one?
Sure.
Sure.
All right, people. Some name suggestions would be awesome.
Yeah, send me a suggestion for this one.
Oh,
I have painted a lot of ravens, so I'm running out of names for raven paintings.
That's right. What are some other names you've had for ravens?
Oh, I've done so many. I usually have like rainbow raven, or I don't know. I can off the top of my head, I'm not sure what I've called them. They just sold one in the Square Foot show, which was a very colorful raven. So, you know, I'm just doing a lot of ravens. I love ravens.
How about Corky?
Someone's Corky the raven.
Betty, another one.
Randy the raven.
I like the name Corky. Thank you. Oh, we've got Betty too. Uh-oh, there's competition.
I know. Cornelius, there's another good one.
I got to write these down, or somebody needs to capture these for me.
Yeah, you could do some alliteration. Randy the Raven.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and Randall the Raven. Oh yeah, you could have some fun there. How about the bear? Can we get a closer look at him or her or it?
I love painting bears. I was just in an art show and I realized I painted mostly bears, and I didn't.
Sweet.
So yeah.
See why.
And I really like to paint like their muzzles. It's a black bear with a yellow muzzle. Just pushing the color a little bit, right?
Yeah, very sweet. What a great expression on his face.
Thank you.
Gary the bear. I'm very literal. Oh, that's great. And so you said in the color palette that you chose that you're looking for joyfulness. That's something, and that's a theme that's pretty consistent for you.
Yeah, I often use complementary colors or like a color triad in a painting. But you know, because I use a lot of blue, I'm using, you know, reds and yellows and a lot. I just like to have some sort of a balance. But when I paint, it's very intuitive as well. Like it's not necessarily planned. You know, I might have the idea planned, but then when it comes to color, it's a very intuitive thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about that?
Honestly, it's just I just start painting and then I get into the zone, and it's a zone where I just feel like, oh, this might work, you know, and I might try it a little bit. And I'm actually learning from one of my mentors, Brian Buckroll, on how to use Art Rage, and then that saves me some time ahead of time to look and see what some of the colors might look like using an app.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Given the cost of paint these days, it's a little easier to work it out ahead of time.
Yes, yeah, it's a brilliant way to try a different color. Or if you feel like there's a mistake, you want to change something instead of changing it and then realizing, no, it was better before. Do it digitally. Yeah. And
you lose the I don't know, the luminosity of the paint if you put too much on it. So yeah.
That's right. That's for sure. Cool. So, and how is life as a navigator? Who you're working with Brian currently?
No, I'm actually not Brian. I'm in Brian Buckroll's group, but I'm not his navigator.
Okay.
They're actually meeting right now.
Oh no, you're missing your group.
So I have to watch the recording. But I navigate for Karen Weiss, who is an abstract palette knife artist in Florida. and she's a lovely person, and I'm learning a lot about painting in oil with palette knife from her, doing abstracts, which is very frightening. They're a lot harder than you think, is what I want to tell you guys. If you want to paint abstract, it's harder than you think, but she makes it very approachable. And I'm also just started navigating for David Langevin.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Have you worked with him before?
I have not, no. So I'm interested in learning about his layering technique, because he also likes to paint in bright colors. And so I'm very, very interested in achieving that level of luminosity in my paintings. So
yeah, the glazing and veil technique changed my world.
Oh yeah.
And what I was going to say too is that, you know, people that even though David's group is full, people should always go on waiting lists, because you never know when a spot is going to open up, right?
Yeah, that's so true. There's a waiting list for any group that's full. And because the groups stay open, someone might leave after a few months or whatever, and then the spot is available and the first one back gets it.
Yeah.
So get on those wait lists for sure. Anything else you want to tell us about your process or the show in particular?
No, I'm very excited about the show. Thank you, Mastrius, for the opportunity to be the headline artist. That's just great. I'm excited about that. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing everybody's work. I love the way that everybody interprets it differently. So, you know, that's something that I'm very interested in seeing.
Yeah, it's the theme is fantastic, and yeah, me too. I'm just really interested to see everyone's artwork together in one place, and to see sort of the color themes and changes, and you know, what it might mean to each artist. Or you know, we might have to do more of these, because it's so fun to know that part of it.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to get everyone back on here. There we go. We're all back. Oh, thanks, guys. Do you have any questions for each other? Comments, name suggestions?
Yeah. Well, I think it's been great seeing everybody's work and the work in progress, and learning about how everybody approaches things slightly differently. So that's
I think it's a good idea to have some of the other artists, because it's just so much fun to come inside everybody else's studio and see what they're doing and how they work, the process. Like I love Karen's, they will like having the palette like that, because I just put my palette down and I don't know, I guess I use the same colors all the time, but like the palette and when it dries, it looks different, obviously, and it's like, oh, that's a good idea. I should some of that too. Yeah. It's really cool. Thank you.
Brilliant.
I actually looking at Isabel's the crow that you're looking for a name for. Maya, what is the name for purple in Spanish?
Morado.
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 Morado. Okay. Buena idea. Muchas gracias.
A very strong name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a little bit of
write that down right now.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Well, 2 weeks to the show. Anyone feeling panic, or are you all feeling okay about it?
Feeling okay now that this is over. So
Agreed.
All good.
I'm relieved that they're mostly done.
Yep. Awesome.
I'm starting to paint tonight, so I already put my palette. It's in the other table, and get some color in there. So yeah, I'm excited and nervous and everything in between.
You'll all do great. All right, and who's going to have the last word? We always have a last word from our speakers.
What do you mean?
I mean, someone has to say something brilliant before we say goodbye.
Brilliant.
No pressure, though.
No pressure.
It has to be brilliant.
It better
Just
be
brilliant.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Julie.
I just had to say we all have commonalities in this, because we actually all came in nervous, but then kind of learning and feeling it out. Oh, we all feel that way. So this is an amazing community. So there we go. And navigating is awesome. We love it.
Yes. 3 cheers for Mastrius.
Yay. Oh, thanks, guys. Well, those are great final words, and I agree. If there's something I find every time, every day I'm with you guys, it's what we have in common. And some of that is how unique we are. But so much of it is how much we have in common. Yeah, we're all cut from the same cloth. Love that.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to all of you. Appreciate each of you so much. Thank you for navigating, for being the glue in our community, and for having the courage to join me tonight. So good.
Thanks,
You're very
Julie.
welcome. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. And thanks to our guests for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. Join us tomorrow for our regular programming, which is an event on how to finish artwork. So if you want to finish it to sell, join me and Doug Swinton and Heather Pant and all the details on how to finish artwork professionally. Same time, different place. Get your link at mastrius.com. All right. Ciao for now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Everyone.